I died choking on my own blood in the trunk of a stolen sedan, the metallic tang mixing with the exhaust fumes as my brother's panicked face flashed in my mind one last time. His hands shoving me in there after the accident he'd staged to cover his embezzlement scam. The world went black, then white-hot pain, and just like that, Catherine Hale was 28 and done, betrayed by the family I'd bled for, left to rot on a deserted highway outside Phoenix. But death's a lousy editor. It cut the wrong scene, and suddenly I was gasping awake in my childhood bedroom, 17 years old again, the alarm clock screaming 7 a.m. on a Tuesday in 2010, my heart pounding like I'd just run from the grave. It was the summer before senior year, the air thick with Arizona heat even inside our cookie-cutter split level in Scottsdale. The house smelled like Mom's chamomile tea and Dad's aftershave, the same scents that had haunted my final moments. I bolted upright in bed, sheets tangled around my legs, my hands flying to my throat. Smooth skin, no scars from the crash, no bruises from where Tommy had zip-tied my wrists. Just the faint freckles I'd always hated, dotted across my collarbone like some cosmic joke. I stumbled to the mirror, expecting the hollow-eyed woman I'd become, the one who'd clawed her way up from that trunk only to get hit by a semi when I finally kicked the latch open. But no, there I was, Catherine Hale, version 2.0, with braces glinting under the vanity light and my hair in that go-doffle feathered bob Mom insisted on. 17, alive, and armed with every dirty secret my family had buried deeper than my body. The realization hit like a freight train. This was my shot. Not at forgiveness, screw that. At payback. Tommy, the golden boy, had always been the favorite, the one who'd sweet-talk his way out of juvie after boosting cars in high school, then graduated to siphoning Dad's construction firm dry. Mom turned a blind eye because family sticks together, and Dad? He'd enabled it all, too buried in his own gambling debts to notice the books cooking under his nose. I'd been the fixer, the one who covered for them, who took the fall for Tommy's screw-ups until it cost me everything. In my first life, I'd moved out after that dinner ultimatum, hustled my ass off in Phoenix real estate, only to get dragged back into their mess when Tommy begged for help. One favor led to forging documents, then the feds closing in, and boom, trunk time. Not this time. This time, I'd rewrite the script. But first, I had to survive breakfast. Downstairs, the kitchen was a war zone of normalcy. Dad flipping pancakes in his world's okayest dad apron, a gag gift from me. Back when I thought irony was funny. Mom scrolling her BlackBerry for PDA gossip. Tommy slouched at the island, 15, and already sporting that smug half-grin, texting under the table like he owned the place. He didn't see me yet, but I saw him. The kid who'd grow up to murder his own sister for a few mil in kickbacks. Morning, sleepyhead. Mom chirped, sliding a plate my way. Syrup pooled like fake blood. Big day, college apps after school. You aiming for ASU like your brother. Tommy snorted without looking up. Yeah, cat, don't blow it like I almost did. Party too hard, flunk out. Real American dream. Dad chuckled, but his eyes flicked to the stack of bills by the coffee maker. I knew what came next. The room drama had been brewing for weeks. Tommy's band practice needed space, and my room, with its view of the pool and in-suite bath, was prime real estate. In my first go-round, I'd caved, bunked on the couch for months until that fateful dinner. I sat down, fork stabbing a pancake harder than necessary. Actually, I've been thinking, maybe I should look at dorms early, get a head start on independence. The room went quiet. Mom's BlackBerry clattered. Dad's spatula froze midair. Tommy finally glanced up, eyebrow arched like I'd suggested joining a cult. Independence, Mom echoed, her voice pitching up that fake casual octave she used when cornered. Honey, you're still in high school. We talked about this. Family first. Family first, I repeated, tasting bile. In my head, the trunk's darkness closed in again, Tommy's whisper. Sorry, sis, but you knew too much. Yeah, family first, right up until the noose tightens. Dad cleared his throat, plating his stack. Look, Catherine, it's not about that. Tommy's got tryouts for varsity soon, and the garage is too noisy for his. Focus. He avoided my eyes, just like he would years later when the auditors came knocking. I leaned back, crossing my arms. At 17, I didn't have the poise yet, but the memories did. So what? I give up my room or what? Move out. The words hung there, bait on a hook. Tommy barked a laugh. Dramatic much? Just crash in the basement, cat. It's got that sweet rec room vibe. Mom shot him a look, then turned to me, her smile brittle. No one's moving out. But compromises, sweetie. Life's about compromises. The dinner bell in my mind rang early. Flash forward to that roast chicken night. Voices escalating. Give up the room or move out. Catherine, we're done carrying you. I'd packed that night, tears blurring the taillights as I drove to Phoenix, vowing never to look back, until Tommy reeled me in. I pushed my plate away. Compromises. Got it. I'll think about it. But inside, the plan uncoiled like a snake. I'd play along, ace my classes, snag scholarships, build my empire quiet-like, while they rotted in their secrets. Dad's poker nights weren't just boys' club, they were IOUs to loan sharks. Mom's charity work funneled cash to cover Tommy's dealers. And Tommy? Little sociopath in training. School that day blurred. AP Calc, lit class dissecting the Great Gatsby like I gave a damn about old money regrets. But I was plotting. After cheer practice, God, I hated the flips, but it built connections. I hit the library computer, researching real estate flips. In my first life, I'd started small, a fixer-upper in Tempe for $80,000, flipped for double. By 25, I had a portfolio. By 28, enough to make Tommy jealous enough to kill. This time, I'd accelerate. No mistakes, no bailouts. Home was a minefield. Tommy cornered me in the hallway that night, all faux concern. Hey, you okay? Mom's on edge about the room thing. His eyes, blue like mine but colder, searched for weakness. I smiled, channeling the real estate shark I'd become. Peachy, just figuring out my exit strategy. He blinked, thrown. Good. Let him stew. Weeks ticked by like a bomb fuse, each day a deliberate step in my invisible war. I volunteered for every college fair, charmed admissions reps with essays on resilience through reinvention, irony thick enough to choke on. ASU early acceptance? Locked. Scholarship for low-income strivers. Mine, thanks to Dad's modest salary I inflated just enough on the forms. No more playing the dutiful daughter. I was the ghost in the machine, rewriting code. Tommy noticed the shift. What's with the grind, cat? You trying to outshine me or something? We'd be in the kitchen, him raiding the fridge for Monster Energy, me sipping kale smoothies I'd forced down for that future six-pack abs edge. Just building my future, I'd say, eyes on my laptop screen, Zillow tabs open to Phoenix condos. You should try it sometime. He'd flip me off, but the seed was planted. Doubt. In my first life, I'd propped him up, loaned him my car for job interviews that were really joyrides, co-signed his lease when landlords balked. This time, crickets. When he asked for gas money, I shrugged. Get a job, bro. Mom overheard, pursed her lips, but said nothing. The room stayed mine, for now. Fall semester hit like a heat wave. ASU dorms a chaotic paradise of freedom. No more floral wallpaper or Tommy's bass thumping through vents. Roommate was a poli-sci major named Jess, all tattoos and TED Talks, who became my first real ally. Your family's toxic as hell, she'd say over late-night ramen. Cut em loose. If only she knew how literal that advice would get. I majored in business, minored in finance, laser-focused. Internships at boutique brokerages, cold calling leads till my voice cracked. By sophomore year, I had my first flip, a foreclosed bungalow in Mesa, bought with a microloan and sweat equity. Sold for $20K profit. Dad called. Fishing. Heard you're playing house. Need a hand from the old man. Nope. I shot back, voice steady. Learning the hard way. American way. He laughed it off, but I heard the strain. His debts were piling, poker losses hitting 5 figures. Tommy dropped out after freshman year to pursue music, code for couch surfing and small-time cons. Mom emailed, please. Help your brother, Catherine. Blood is thicker. Delete. The betrayal simmered, but I stoked it with reconnaissance. Holiday breaks. I'd play the prodigal. Smiles over turkey, ears perked for slips. Dad's phone buzzed with Frankie texts. The bookie. Tommy bragged about side hustles, eyes darting when I asked details. One night, post-eggnog, he cornered me by the tree. You think you're hot shit now, huh? With your fancy degree and deals. But family's all you got when it crashes. I clinked my glass to his. To crashes. He didn't get the joke. Yet. Junior year, the empire grew. Partnerships with flippers twice my age, a blog on millennial real estate hacks that went semi-viral on Reddit. By graduation, I had $150K in the bank, a condo in Tempe, and a Rolodex of investors. Commencement, I skipped the family photo op, told mom I had meetings. Truth, closing on my second property. That's when the first crack showed. Tommy called, slurring. Sis, I fucked up. Need a loan. Just 10 grand. For the band. Background noise, casino slots. Get clean first, I said. Then maybe. Click. He texted rage. Ungrateful bitch. You'll regret this. Regret? I'd tasted it in that trunk, the regret of trust. This was justice. Post-grad, Phoenix swallowed me whole. The sprawl of sun-baked strip malls and saguaros, dreamers chasing the next boom. I launched Hale Homes, LLC. Distressed properties, renovated into starter palaces for the overlooked. First office, a leased cube in a high-rise overlooking Camelback Mountain. Clients loved the underdog vibe, the girl from Scottsdale suburbs who'd bootstrapped her way up. Media Nibbles, a feature in Arizona Republic, Catherine Hale, the flip queen of the valley. Family faded to holiday cards and guilt trip voicemails. Dad's firm tanked. Recession hit construction hard, but really, it was the skimming. Tommy bounced between rehab stints and entrepreneurial ventures, code for pyramid schemes. Mom's emails turned desperate. Your father needs surgery. Can you spare? I wired $5K, anonymously, through a trust. Not mercy, leverage. Then, the dinner. Summer 2015, I drove up for what Mom called a check-in. The house looked shabbier, peeling paint, weeds choking the driveway. Inside, same oak table, but dustier. Roast chicken sizzled, tension thicker than the gravy. Tommy was there, gaunt, fresh off parole for check fraud. Dad nursed a scotch, eyes bloodshot. We ate in silence till Mom prodded. Catherine, you've done so well. But Tommy, he's turning it around. Needs stability. Needs a room. Tommy muttered, forking peas aggressively. Basement's a dump. Bugs and shit. Dad nodded. We've rearranged. Your old space, it's got the light for his studio. My fork clattered. Flashback. This exact meal, my first life. The yelling, the ultimatum. I'd caved then. Offered to help Tommy network in Phoenix. Led to co-signing his business loan, embezzlement cover. Now, rearrange. I echoed, voice ice. You mean, give up my room? Again. Mom flushed. It's not like that. You're out on your own, successful. We need the space for family. Tommy leaned in, smirking. Yeah, cat. Or move out. Permanently this time. The words landed like punches, echoes of my grave. Dad slammed his glass. Enough. Catherine, life's not fair. You owe us for everything. Roof, food, college apps we paid for. Lies, they hadn't paid shit after freshman year. I stood, chair scraping. Oh, you? For raising a thief and a gambler? For letting him bleed you dry? The room froze. Secrets spilling like wine. Dad's face purpled. What the hell? You think I don't know? Frankie's calls. The offshore accounts Tommy set up for your investments? I'd hacked their router years ago. Old habits from covering tracks. Tommy lunged, but I sidestepped. Touch me, and it's assault charges. I've got lawyers on speed dial. Mom sobbed. Catherine, please. Give up the room or move out. I laughed, bitter. How about I buy the whole damn block and evict you all? Hyperbole then. Promise now. I stormed out, tires squealing into the night. In the rear view, their silhouettes arguing, fractured. Good. Phase 1, detonation. Adrenaline fueled the drive back to Phoenix, city lights blurring into streaks of neon vengeance. Hale Homes exploded after that. Clients flocked to the tell-all, aura leaking from my socials. Cryptic posts about cutting toxic ties that went viral in self-help circles. Revenue doubled. I hired my first assistant, a sharp ex-con named Rico who got the underdog grind. We targeted foreclosures in up-and-coming hoods, turning crack dens into co-working lofts. By 2017, I was closing 7 figures, rubbing elbows at Remax galas with suits who once dismissed me as that kid from Scottsdale. But revenge isn't a sprint. It's a marathon with pit stops at therapy and tequila. Jess, now a lawyer in Tempe, dragged me to sessions. You're not just surviving, Kat. You're weaponizing trauma. Dial it back. Easy for her. She'd never tasted asphalt and betrayal. Still, I listened, enough to channel the rage into boardroom wins, not bar fights. Family went radio silent post-dinner, but I'm monitored. Public records hacks, shout out to Rico's cousin in IT, social media deep dives. Dad filed bankruptcy, lost the house to liens. Tommy, busted for wire fraud, 5 years in county. Mom sold Tupperware online, posting passive-aggressive Bible verses about prodigal sons. No mentions of me. Fine. I'd be the ghost they couldn't exorcise. The idea hit during a late-night Zillow binge. The Scottsdale market rebounding, luxury flips in our old neighborhood. Our street, Eagle Ridge Lane, had that view, Red Rock Buttes at dawn, pools winking like sapphires. And Plot 47, vacant lot across from 1427, our old address. Zoned for a McMansion, permits pending. Price tag, $800K raw. I snapped it up sight unseen, cash from a Vegas condo sale. Architects sketched a modern fortress, glass walls facing their side, infinity pool mirroring their sagging fence. Controversial? Hell yes. Neighbors whispered about the spite house, code for my vendetta. But zoning board approved, money talks, and my lobbyist purred. Construction started 2018, crews hammering while Dad rented a trailer 2 blocks over. Mom drove by once, slowed, but peeled out when she saw my truck. Tommy paroled early, good behavior, the liar. He messaged, heard you're building. Fancy. Need a GC? I know pipes. Delete. But he didn't stop, showed up at a site visit, hard hat crooked, eyes hungry. Come on, cat. Family discount. I crossed my arms, dust from drywall swirling. Family? Last I checked, you were family who left me for dead. The word slipped, too soon. His face blanked, then twisted. What the fuck? You're crazy. That dinner bullshit twisted you. But doubt flickered. He'd always sensed my intuition. Get off my property, I said, security escorting him out. That night, I upped the alarms, cameras facing the street, capturing every minivan pass by. Housewarming was solo, bottle of Napa Cab, playlist of Johnny Cash ballads about walking the line. The place gleamed, 5K SQ feet, smart home synced to my pulse. From the great room window, I watched the old house. Weeds taller, for sale sign crooked. Dad's truck rusted in the drive, foreclosure loomed again. Then the call started. Mom, voice quavering. Catherine, this house. It's deliberate, isn't it? Facing us like that. Us. I laughed. You sold out, Mom. Remember? Move out or else. She sobbed. We were stressed. Tommy, your father, things were bad. But you're our daughter. Daughter you traded for a thief's bedroom. Click. But it gnawed. Was this enough? The trunk memories whispered no. Deeper cuts needed. I dug, hired PIs, cross-referenced court docs. Buried secret unearthed. Tommy hadn't just skimmed. He'd framed me in my first life. Forged my signature on those loans. Pinned the feds on Catherine Hale, accomplice. That's why the crash, silencing the witness. Dad knew. Emails from 2014. Handle your sister, son. Quiet like. Mom. CC'd. Rage blacked me out for days. Workouts till I puked. Deals inked with trembling hands. Jess advised, sue them. Expose. But Cat, it'll destroy you too. Controversial decision 1. I leaked anonymized docs to a Phoenix blogger. Scottsdale scandal. Family firms fall from within. It blew up. Local news, Twitter storms. Dad denied, but the sharks circled. Final bankruptcy, assets seized. Tommy confronted me at a coffee shop. Neutral ground, my terms. He looked feral, parole anklet peeking from his sock. You did this. The leak. Ruined us. Us? You ruined me first. I slid a folder across. Printouts, timestamps. His eyes widened. Recognition. Bullshit. You're lying. I never. The trunk, Tommy. The zip ties. Ring any bells. Time stopped. His fork dropped. Wait. No, it was a scone. Crumbs scattered like confetti at my funeral. You. How? Whisper hiss. Ghosts talk. I stood. Stay away, or the full file goes to the DA. Your choice. He bolted, but the seed rooted. Paranoia. Good. Climax brewed slow, like a desert storm. Humidity building till lightning cracks the sky. 2020 hit. Pandemic flipping markets wild. I thrived. Hale homes pivoting to virtual tours and bailout buys. Net worth crested 5 mil, but the house across the street stayed my anchor, a telescope to their unraveling. Dad moved to a care home, liver from the scotch, debts from the dice. Mom rented a bungalow nearby, Uber NG for scraps, her Facebook a shrine to forgiveness journeys. Tommy, ghosted town, rumors of Mexico border runs. I dated a venture capitalist named Mark, all TED vibes and Tesla keys. He got the surface, ambitious orphan vibes. But intimacy stalled. I'd wake sweating, phantom tires screeching. Baggage, I'd quip. He stuck around, patient. Jess pushed. Therapy's working, cat. Let him in. Maybe. The twist came uninvited. A knock at midnight, rain sheeting the porch. Mom, soaked, no umbrella, eyes hollowed by years. Catherine, please. It's Tommy. I let her in, against every screaming nerve. Kitchen island gleamed under pendants. She dripped like a drowned specter. He's bad. Overdose scare in Tucson. Says things about you, the accident. Thinks you're haunting him. Haunting. Close enough. I poured tea. Chamomile, her favorite weapon. And she clutched the mug. He confessed. To your father, me. The loans, the cover-up. Said he panicked, that you were going to the cops. Lie, he'd planned it, emails proved. But her tears? Real. We failed you. That dinner. God, we were monsters. Desperate, blind. But you're back, building this life. Let us make it right. Right. The word twisted like a knife. In my first life, this plea came too late, post-trunk, pre-crash, when I'd bailed him out one last time. Forgiveness killed me. Now, sit, I said. We talked till dawn, her admissions spilling, covering Dad's debts with church bake sales, enabling Tommy's rages because boys will be boys. American sins, wrapped in suburbia. I showed her the folder, redacted. Her gasp, we didn't know. Or we did, and buried it. Decision 2, controversial as hell, mercy with teeth. I wired her $50K, for a fresh start, no strings but one. Testify. Against Tommy, if he surfaced. Not for me. I lied. For you. Break the cycle. She left at sunrise, hugging the doorframe. I see you, Catherine. The woman you became. Proud. Door clicked shut. I slid down the cabinets, sobbing. Release, not regret. Tommy surfaced a month later. Border Patrol bust, extradited on old warrants. My leak had snowballed. Feds reopened the sister angle. Interrogation vid leaked, him cracking. She knew too much. Had to. Stage it. Family business. Headlines screamed. Scottsdale scion confesses to fratricide plot. Mom testified, voice steady. He chose greed over blood. Dad, from his bed, nodded via Zoom, absolution in his wheeze. Tommy got 25, to life, no parole. The old house sold, to a young couple, starting over. I watched from my deck, pool rippling, as they planted desert roses. Mark proposed that night, ring glinting like promise. Build with me. I said yes. Not because wounds healed, scars linger. But because rebirth isn't just revenge, it's reclaiming the plot. I kept the house, the view. A reminder, give up the room? Nah, I took the whole damn street. And in the quiet mornings, with coffee steaming and buttes blushing pink, I whispered to the girl in the mirror, we made it. No ghosts left. Just Catherine Hale, alive and unapologetic.